It's a bit of a reprieve at the moment here that we are able to come to you live here from the precinct of the Cape Town City Hall. Of course, a different picture than what we saw this morning. It was a chilly and wet weather conditions, but for now, the sun seems to be out. We hope that it will stay a bit longer than what we saw this morning. Of course, we are taking some reaction right here on the precinct. One gentleman is from the executive and the other is from the legislature. Of course, I'm going to bring into this conversation Vincent Magwenya, spokesperson for President Cyril Ramaphosa. Firstly, this joint sitting is coinciding with Mandela Day. What has the president been up to today?
Well, the president has been crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and looking through every detail of his address, an address that will reflect the unity that has already been incorporated into the government of national unity. It will be an expression of the unity that South Africans would like to see in their government. The president will outline an aligned set of priorities for the 7th administration. And as you've mentioned, it is a special day. We're celebrating 30 years of our democracy this year. Today is the birthday of our founding father, Madiba, who fought to unify South Africans, who led from the front in unifying the country. And today, that unity is going to come to bear as the president delivers an address that will be reflective of all the parties that are signatories to the GNU, but also reflective of more than 70% of voters who would like that unity to take the country forward.
Now, you've been coming out of the Cabinet Lekgotla over the weekend, of course, sitting for the first time. How difficult has it been for the president to put together this opening of Parliament speech, given the different constituencies that are represented by the different political parties that are part of the government of national unity?
It's a lot of work, but it has not been difficult because we had the Cabinet Lekgotla. What did we say at that Cabinet Lekgotla? We saw a sense of unity of purpose from all the parties that now form the national executive. They agreed on the set of priorities that flow from the statement of intent that have been aligned with the NDP as well as the Sustainable Development Goals. And so it has not been a difficult process at all because the statement of intent kicked off that process. The DGs did some more work to give expression to elements of the different manifestos. And so it's been a seamless process, one that has been guided by an overriding commitment from all parties to take the country forward.
Give us a sneak preview of the themes that the president is expected to address as part of giving a strategic direction for the country going forward.
What the president will do, he will talk to the challenges that are facing the country, particularly those that have persistently undermined economic growth and job creation. He will talk to measures around poverty alleviation. He will talk to the rebuilding, or the building rather, of a capable and ethical state that is to deliver to all these expectations and aspirations. That's what he will talk to. But over and above the challenges, he will also outline opportunities around economic growth and job creation. And you will see a golden thread from the reforms that were started during the 6th administration. And those reforms have laid a perfect and solid foundation in which the 7th administration will continue from.
Lastly, his detractors are saying he's very good at making promises, but poor in terms of showing the delivery. The example being that in 2019, he promised the country smart cities and bullet trains, but till now, we haven't seen any movement in that regard.
Well, we always accept criticism. The president is always the first one to say it's par for course as a president. However, if we look at the facts, which is what guides us, at the start of the 6th administration and during the course of the 6th administration, the president had to lead a reform and rebuilding effort where we had to start recovering from those unfortunate 9 years of state capture that destroyed some of our state institutions. Those institutions, as you know, are up and running now. on a sustainable basis. If you look at the NPA, for example, and the kind of work they've been able to produce, you have a level of stability in the leadership of the NPA, which we haven't had in a very long time, until the start of the 6th administration. If you look at various law enforcement agencies, if you look at ESCOM is turning the corner. We haven't had load shedding in close to 4 months now. On logistics, we're beginning to turn the corner with Transnet. And so, we will accept criticism, but the facts show a president that, or demonstrate a president that has been leading from the front in the resolution of these challenges that have set us back with respect to economic growth, job creation, as I've alluded earlier on.
Vincent Magwenya, thank you so much for your time. He's, of course, the presidential spokesperson, of course, giving us the perspective of the executive. I'm going to move to my right now, Bongiwe, and bring in Moloto Mothapo, who is the spokesperson for Parliament. Moloto, we've seen the rain this morning. Does it disrupt the planning and the proceedings of today?
No, absolutely not. We are resilient. We've got a wet weather plan in place. So you will have seen that there is really no disruption at all to the planning that we've had. And I think the manner in which the weather has been behaving, I think at the right time, it is able to give us some kind of reprieve so that we can do these interviews here in the open. In the morning, you will have seen that we deliberately ensure that these interviews are taking place away from the rain. But it also helped a lot in terms of what we are celebrating today, in terms of celebrating, commemorating, and engaging in acts of kindness and service to humanity in emulation of Mandela. Because part of that then is a celebration of the birthday of Madiba, which we had this morning in the exhibition of Nelson Mandela in the City Hall. So it's really all systems go. The only, I think, thing which has got nothing to do with the weather, but it has to do with the times change in terms of the season change. So you will know that during the State of the Nation address, which takes place in summer, in February, we are able to have the fly past as part of the ceremonial activities. But this time around, that has been canned, because by the time that normally takes place, it will be dark. And of course, the weather as well is not as desirable as we would have wanted it to be. So, but it all systems go. Everything is going according to plan. There is absolutely no interruption at all.
Just as a recap, the list of dignitaries that are expected today, I know normally it's former presidents and former deputy presidents, as well as former presiding officers. Can you give us the latest list of the people that we are expecting here, that have confirmed their attendance?
Look, it's a wide array of guests. We've been receiving confirmations, but there is a certain category of guests. I mean, dignitaries, former state president, former speakers of the National Assembly, former chairpersons. Those ones, we are not fussy about whether they are confirming or not confirming as to determine whether they will be accepted or not. So we always let it. Of course, we appreciate that there are some that will have confirmed the attendance, but we are just expecting all of them to come. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Moloto Mothapo. He is the spokesperson for Parliament, of course, confirming that it's all systems go for tonight's opening of Parliament, which starts at 7 o'clock this evening, where President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to deliver that speech that will give a strategic direction for the country. Of course, if you can look behind me, not much happening at the moment. The band is still setting up. The red carpet has been kitted out, but the main stage where the president will take a gun salute is still covered in a plastic bag, so that if the rain does come down, it doesn't make that stage wet.